My name is Robert Stone. I'm a private eye, and I'm good at finding things. Really good. Along with my partner Styx, we find things that want to remain hidden, like car keys, lost pets, unfaithful spouses, and homicidal maniacs. Not always in that order. We are detectives for hire in the sprawling metropolis called Freedom City. Here in our case files, you will find magic, monsters, mystery, and mayhem.
Manic Mysteries, featuring the voice talents of Jason Allen, Corey Teitzma, Kevin Meese, Jonathan Hutchinson, Tiffany Hendren, and Sean Cashman.
The Case of the Dead Parrot. It was hot, brow dripping, loose collar, supernatural, face melting hot. Freedom City was in the grip of the worst heat wave in recorded memory. It was the sort of day where you joke about cooking eggs on the street, but with no intention of going outside to find out. In our cramped office, we sat comatose under the small ceiling fan, which did little to alleviate the temperature.
One of these days, we should invest in one of those ice elemental units.
Yeah, as soon as I win the lottery.
In other words, our comfort will require a statistical anomaly.
Considering I don't play the lottery, I'd say it's a statistical impossibility. Styx, be a pal and get the door.
I can't. My shirt is stuck in the chair. I'll need a crowbar.
Seriously, Styx, get the door.
Bugger all. This better be important.
Hello, are you the Dick and Jane Detective Agency?
Says so on the door, but then again I guess we could be squatters. Who are you and what do you want?
I'd rather not say out here. My situation is rather, shall we say, of a delicate nature.
Come in. Hey Robert, it's a customer.
My name's Robert Stone. That's my partner, Styx.
But the sign says...
Now, don't believe everything you read. We're the detectives. Now, who are you, and what can we do for you?
My name is Monsieur. I'm the lead manager for the Sky Moon Auction House.
I've heard the name. You handle mostly elite sales and expensive luxury goods.
We are the leading auction house for the financially well-endowed. We've recently been charged with handling the estate sale of the late Augustus Dohrwald.
Yeah, I read about his death in the paper. He was the fourth richest man in the city.
He was also a bit of a collector. His mansion was filled with priceless art, antiques, and exotic trinkets collected over the years from all over the world.
Did someone run off with the family jewels?
Something like that. You see, Dohrwald's children don't really share in their father's eccentric taste, and so they've decided to liquidate most of his belongings. 3 days ago, my company arrived at the Dohrwald mansion to pick up the items they wish to sell. We require that the family mark everything to be sold with a yellow tag. Well, I was there, and practically everything not nailed to the walls had a tag. It took about 9 hours and 18 trucks to remove it all. Everything was properly catalogued and accounted for when we picked it up and when it was delivered to our main warehouse. However, yesterday morning, we received a request from the Dohrwald family that we return one particular item that had been accidentally marked for sale. I checked and it was on our list, so I went into the warehouse to collect it for them. But the item in question was gone.
Stolen?
Absolutely not! Our security measures are impossible to overcome. Besides, there was no evidence of a theft. Nothing else was gone. Everything was as it should be, but the object was not there. We've searched every crate in the complex. We can't go to the police. If this oversight ever made it into the papers, then our reputation will be ruined. Our customers come to us because they have faith that we will care for their property and ensure that it is sold at a good price.
Relax, Mr. Monsieur. I think we can help you.
Oh, thank goodness. Of course, this will need to be discreet.
Of course. So, what was went missing?
A painting? A jeweled toilet seat? A gold-plated cigar cleaner?
That's the strange thing, and the most embarrassing part of this whole mess.
Now I'm curious.
It was a parrot.
Like a squawk polywana cracker parrot, or is this one of those weird euphemisms?
It was just an old stuffed parrot. Not even a rare breed, nor was it in really good condition. Honestly, I doubted we would be able to sell it, and would merely recommend it for a garbage bin.
That is a strange thing to disappear. Do you have a picture of it?
Regrettably, no. All I have here is the transport receipt and a brief description.
Why would the Dohrwald family want to keep something like that?
I'm told it has sentimental value.
You could always just go down to the local taxidermist and have another one made up.
Absolutely not! My company would never condone something so dishonest. Besides, the family has already been told.
I don't know if we can help you. It just doesn't sound worth it.
Please, you've got to find it. I know the object isn't worth much, but the scandal could ruin me. I'm willing to pay handsomely for the item's return.
All right, Mr. Monsieur. Our fee is 5,000 plus expenses.
Fine, fine. So you do it?
What's the address of this warehouse? We'll head down there shortly.
444 Ebenezer Square. Oh, thank you, thank you.
He didn't haggle any.
He must be desperate.
Are we really taking this case?
It could be interesting. Besides, it's not like we have anything better to do except slowly cook in here. Maybe the warehouse is cool.
I doubt it. Your turn.
Hello?
Are you the detectives?
We are. I'm Robert Stone. This is my partner, Styx. What can we do for you, Mr.
Augustus Dohrwald. I understand you've been visited by that snivelly fellow from the auction house?
That's client confidentiality, sir. We don't discuss our cases.
Forget him. You work for me now.
The auctioneer has offered us 5,000.
Then I will make it 10. I want you to find my missing parrot and bring it to me. There's no need to deal with the auction house. After all, it is my possession that's missing, not theirs.
That's true. Can I ask why you want this parrot so desperately, though? The auctioneer said it was just a plain old stuffed parrot and wasn't even worth that much.
That's not your concern. Let's just say it is important to me.
I'm sorry, but we really have to know. If this parrot is special in some way, then the more we know, the faster we can find it.
Fine. But what I'm about to tell you cannot leave this room. How much do you know about my father?
Fourth wealthiest man in the city? Like to collect stuffed animals? Dead.
Well, he was also a miser and a control freak. He didn't want people touching his possessions.
You don't say. So, the parrot?
I'm getting there. My father was also a tad paranoid. Everything had been moved for the auction house before we read his will. It turns out he left us a nice chest filled with gems, but he booby-trapped the stupid thing. In his will, he mentioned that he put the key inside his stuffed pet parrot.
Why not just pick the lock?
And risk damaging the valuables inside? I think not.
What else can you tell us about this missing parrot?
It's an old, wretched thing. Since I was a child, I remember seeing that glassy-eyed bird hanging in a cage in my father's office. I was glad to see it go, but now it seems we need it.
Does anyone else know about the key?
Just my sister and I read the will. Oh, and my father's lawyer, Mr. Lummings from North Hawk. He helped draft the will, so he would know.
All right, Mr. Dohrwald. We'll find your missing bird.
Thank you. Be sure to bring it straight to me and no one else.
Whatever you say, Chief. The plot thickens.
Do you believe his story about that chest of gems?
Not really. You could hire a pretty good locksmith for a fraction of what he's offering us, booby-trapped or not.
Still, with 10 grand, we could finally afford to put an IE unit in the office.
I like that plan. Let's hurry up before I melt in here.
I agree, though we're still going to have to talk with the lawyers.
Lawyers. 32 hours.
I bet 72. Styx and I have this little game. We try to guess how long it will take us to complete a case. Whoever is closest gets to decorate the office. We've been in a slump lately, not too many cases, so it's been conservatively decorated the way I like it, with black and white photos, a few well-placed newspaper clippings, and a few awards. It doesn't matter if the award reads World's Greatest Fisherman. Nobody ever looks close at those things anyway. I had just gathered my coat when the door knocked a third time. Standing before me was a beautiful woman dressed in a black evening gown that left little to the imagination. Along a perfectly sculpted neckline, she wore a fur scarf and a diamond necklace that probably cost more money than most people make in a year. Her dark hair was tied back in a fashionable bun, and her face would have been perfect if her eyes didn't look like a panther ready to strike. I stared at her for an uncomfortable moment before she pushed past me into the room.
I have business with Dick and Jane Detective Agency.
Well, you've come to the right place. Please, have a seat, Miss...
Aurora Dohrwald. Thank you, I'd prefer to stand. I will make this quick. I wish to employ you to find an object that has been taken from me.
Let me guess. A stuffed parrot.
Yes. How did you know?
We've recently been hired by your brother to find the missing bird. You probably just miss each other in the hall.
Bilious? He would have taken the stairs. He doesn't trust elevators.
Considering our elevator, his fear is well-founded.
Never mind that. How much did he offer you?
10 grand.
I will be blunt. I will pay you 20,000 if you find the bird and bring it to me.
You don't want your brother to know you have it?
Absolutely not. The bird was my father's favorite pet. My brother never got along well with our father. Polly was left to me in the will. I want what's due to me. Bilious wants to destroy the bird so he can spite our dead father and insult me.
So the bird doesn't contain a key to a treasure chest.
Nonsense! I don't know what cock and bull story my brother told you, but it isn't true. I loved my father, and the bird is of sentimental value to our family. Retrieve it for me, don't tell my brother, and you will be well rewarded.
Well, I guess the bird is technically yours.
Do you have any idea where it might be?
You should speak with my father's former groundskeeper, an old foul-mouthed drunkard named Ruckus. He insisted that my father promised to leave him money. Naturally, he had no proof of his claim, and we had him thrown off the property. Last night I was passing my father's study when I heard voices. I opened the door thinking it was some servants, somewhere they shouldn't have been, and I saw him skulking about my father's office. I would have had him arrested, but he ran away.
You say you heard voices, but you only saw Ruckus.
There was no one else there. I looked, but I was sure I'd heard a second voice.
All right, Miss Aurora. We're going to go check out the warehouse first, then we'll talk to this Mr. Ruckus. Do you have an address for him?
No, but he likes to frequent the bars on Cheapside. The man is rarely sober. You can find him there. Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I have a prior engagement to see to.
3 clients and 1 object. So who should we work for? The pump, the bully, or the narcissist? Honestly, we could probably just find the thing and then make them bid on it.
Either way, this case is getting more dangerous by the minute. All of them are lying to us. I better bring my gun.
Can I amend my initial guess?
Nope.
Dang it.
We headed straight for the scene of the crime. Sky Moon Auctions owned and operated a large number of warehouses down near the docks. The salty air was tinged with the pungent odor of fish and unwashed bodies. The unit manager had been notified of our arrival and immediately took us to one of the larger buildings with a gold embossed number 3 painted on the side. We walked around the building. There were a few small windows barely the size of a bread box, but otherwise the walls were concrete and the ceiling a metal sheet that was bolted down. The unit manager pulled an ornate set of keys from his keyring and opened the complex lock on the front doors. You could see the anti-magic wards vibrating along the floor trim. Nothing could teleport, phase, or blast those walls. We entered a large open room filled from floor to ceiling with rugs, furniture, paintings, trophies of dead animals, vases as large as carriages, and boxes of varying sizes. Of course, I tripped over a large music box the moment we entered.
Ow, son of a...
You gotta watch it. I did the same thing myself just the other day.
It's a catchy tune if you're into nautical rock.
Turn that off!
So is this where the deceased bird flew the coop?
Yep, I saw them yesterday morning, but then the boss man came looking for it and there's no bird, just an empty cage on its side and a whole bunch of feathers.
Anybody enter or leave here yesterday?
Nobody. It was locked up all day. I know it for a fact.
It looks like something bent the bars and pulled the thing out.
Look, there are feathers leading away from the cage over to one of these tiny windows. They look like they open out from the inside, but it's barely big enough for a cat to squeeze through.
That's a thought. Maybe one of the local strays snuck inside and nicked a dead bird. It's probably in some tabby's belly right now.
It's a good theory, except that window's a full 15 feet off the ground without any access points or places to jump. I don't think it could be the cat unless they could fly.
There are winged cats. I've seen them.
Yes, and you also have a picture of the abominable snowman.
He wanted a selfie with me, O ye of little faith. But the winged cats are real. There have been at least 7 sightings this year.
Save it for the tabloids. I want facts. Let's sweep the area.
Aye, aye, Captain.
An hour later, and we had found nothing more than a mechanical dancing dwarf and a few rings that would make you invisible or speak in rhymes. There were a lot of valuable things in this warehouse, most of them worth a lot more than a stuffed parrot. We had hit a dead end.
It's almost as if the parrot got up and walked away.
I don't think we're going to find out anything else here. What I want to know is why everyone wants this bird so badly.
We might find something in the Dohrwald will. Perhaps he left the bird some money or something.
Good thinking. Dohrwald's son Bilious mentioned a lawyer called Mr. Lumines at Northhawk. How about you see if he has a copy of the Dohrwald will? I'll see if I can find Ruckus the groundskeeper that Aurora talked about.
Can we switch and you go talk to the blood-sucking lawyer while I go find the drunk?
Tell you what, let's flip for it.
Tails.
Sorry. Heads, I win.
Ah, hell's bells. The law offices of Northhawk. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and actuaries. I've met plenty of thieves, cutthroats, blackmailers, and hospital chasers in my time, But lawyers do it all while wearing business suits and hiding behind a wall of bureaucracy. The moment I stepped into the large 14-story building, I knew I was in trouble.
Welcome to the office of North Hawk. How may I help you?
I didn't do it!
Of course not. Will you be needing the defense offices?
No! No. I seek the dwelling of Mr. Lummings. What must I do to gain entry?
You can just go...
Is it a blood sacrifice? I'm not very good at those. I don't mind other people's blood, but the sight of my own makes me woozy.
What? No, of course not.
Is there chanting involved?
I don't understand.
Chanting? Like, do we have to summon him or something?
I could call him for you, but he has an office just up.
A test, perhaps. Do I have to answer a riddle?
Why would you need to answer a riddle?
Don't ask me to explain these things. I never could understand the legal arts. Please tell me it's not a death match. I'm no good at physical combat. You can't just put me in a cage with a 300-pound behemoth named Nosemasher. It wouldn't be right. I'm too delicate. Please. I don't want to die. Take pity on me. I beg you.
Look, Mr. Lummings is on the 4th floor, room 666. Take the elevator over on your right.
Thank you. I hurried past the receptionist. I must have appealed to her sense of compassion. I made sure to avoid eye contact with anyone. You never know which one might turn you into stone or try and sign you up for carriage insurance. I encountered my first real hurdle when the elevator door opened and a dark one emerged from it.
Hello, young man. Are you in need of litigation?
Back! Back, vile thing! Back, I say!
That's a water bottle.
Holy water bottle! Now back before I spray you!
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll just be on my way.
Return to the darkness from whence you came.
8 years of law school for this.
Having frightened away the weaker demon, I bravely entered the dark temple and ascended to the 4th floor. The stench of brimstone, or maybe matches, assailed my nostrils, and the very shadows seemed to quiver in agony. I could just barely hear the screams of the poor souls of the damned locked below for having failed to meet their contractual obligations. Either that, or the elemental cooling system needed a tune-up. I carefully approached the door whose numbers read 666. 2 options stood before me. I could either knock politely and hope to use my rugged good charms, or I could smash my way inside and demand the information I needed. Alright, dark fiend from beyond, say your prayers. Judgment is here.
Oh, goodness. Who are you?
I am the shining beacon of hope in this pit of despair. I am the dagger that strikes down villainy. I am the right hand of justice. Okay, maybe the left hand. Definitely an index finger at least.
What do you want? Please, I don't have any money.
I will not listen to your honeyed tongue, you poisonous viper. Your words will not avail you. Now spill it. What do you know about Augustus Dohrwald?
Augustus Dohrwald? What about him?
The Dohrwald children have hired me to find something for them.
Ah, I see. I've served the Dohrwalds for almost 20 years. What can I do to help?
Where is it? I know you have it.
Where is what?
Don't play coy with me. I see through your illusions. Where is the will?
Oh, why didn't you say so? I have it right here.
Let me see. Oh, spells and gargoyles. It's written in a foreign tongue. The party in the first part hereunder beyond the reasonable contemplation by the party of the second part will be obligated under restrictive interpretation be excused from such performance as dictated by the party of the second part. What is this mumbo-jumbo?
It's standard legal text referring to the transfer of inheritance.
It's 446 pages long is what it is.
Well, we had to cover all of the basics, and Augustus Dohrwald had a lot of property.
I don't see anything in here about a dead parrot.
A parrot? Oh yes, the parrot. No, that wasn't in the will.
Then why do Aurora and Bilius want it so badly? Talk, or I will banish you.
I certainly don't want to be banished. Well, normally this kind of thing falls under client confidentiality, but since neither of the Dohrwald children felt like keeping my employ, I see no reason not to tell you.
Stick to the truth, vile demon, and you may yet survive this.
Something has never sat right with me regarding the Dohrwald estate. Ever since I was first employed by them. Augustus Dohrwald arrived at Freedom City 30 years ago. He carried with him a vast amount of wealth and the title of a minor lord. However, when I took a closer look at the title, I discovered that it was a fake.
So he's not a lord?
Not that I could tell. That family has secrets beyond your normal skeletons in the closet.
If you call forth any skeletons, I will destroy them.
I'm sure you will. Well, you see, Augustus left his children a sealed letter to my care to be given to them upon his death.
What was in the letter?
I don't know. I never looked. But I gave it to them yesterday, and today they are frantically looking for this missing stuffed bird. I'm guessing it had something to do with the contents of that letter.
And that's all you know?
That's it. I'm sorry I can't help you further.
If I find that you have misled me, I will personally destroy your dark altar and scatter your priests to the wind.
Well, thank you for dropping by, and if you ever need any legal advice, be sure to find someone else. I need a drink.
Cheapside is just a nickname. To the untrained eye, it may seem an apt description. The buildings look like they're one strong wind away from becoming rubble. The city trash collectors avoid this part of town like the plague, and the homeless dot every street corner and alley. Even the dogs here look feral, but more money travels through this cesspool than any major stock exchange. With the right amount, you can buy anything here, or find anyone. Ruckus only cost me a 50. My informant even gave me a description and a list of contacts for free. I guess she pitied me. Ruckus was a big man, probably in his late 40s or early 50s. He had the look of a day laborer, tons of muscle, hair, and a sour attitude. When I found him, he was slouched at a dingy little bar called the Scurvy Dog.
This seat is taken.
Yeah, by me. You the one they call Ruckus?
Who are you?
Robert Stone.
I ain't never seen you around here before.
Well, I only come in on Thursdays. This being Monday, I thought I'd change things up a bit and come in on Tuesday. I heard tell you used to work for a swanky rich lord. What was his name? Dohrwald?
Man, I used to work for that last sack of Bilgewater. I served him for now 30 years. Toy little farce he was.
It must have been rough.
You don't know the half of it. You don't. I was promised Miss Share, but he never gave it to me. No, just enough to get by. Told me he was watching out for me and Trish, and I just wasted. Yeah, you're probably right. But then he ups and dies. What does a ruckus get for his years of loyalty?
I'd guess nothing.
A set of silver spoons and a pink slip.
Say, you need another drink?
Yeah, someone drank this one. Bartender!
It's on me, pal.
That's mighty friendly of you.
Here's the friendship.
The friendship. That's how true comrade behave. Not like that thieving skunk Dohrwald. Dohrwald. Even the name was fake. I knew him when he called himself. That's right. Back when we were true mates. None of this high society nonsense. Yeah, the good old days.
I'm sorry, I must have missed that. What did Dohrwald call himself?
I just told you.
Ah, yes, how could I have missed that?
Then it all stopped. He decided to settle down, make himself all proper-like, get a high society gal and had some spoiled little youngins who wouldn't know a proper garden from a hole in the ground.
Or a parrot?
Whoa. Yeah, they wouldn't know a gardener from a parrot. I like that.
I heard that Dohrwald used to keep a parrot stuffed in a cage.
Had to, didn't he? Couldn't just burn it or bury it. He had to listen to that silly song every night.
Why is that?
Not supposed to say. Secret it is. I was paid good money not to say anything.
Of course, that would be wrong, but since you don't work for him anymore...
It was that blasted witch. I told him not to go messing around with them bush witches. But did he listen to me? No. Serves him right, it did.
Wait, what witch?
The witch. You know, the witch? You just can't woo him and expect him not to expect nothing, right?
What does a witch have to do with the parrot?
That's a joke, see? Love that bird more than her, so she...
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
I think someone drank my drink. It's empty again.
I'll buy you another. Do you know where the parrot is?
You want the parrot? You gotta talk to Dohrwald.
But Dohrwald's dead.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Where is the parrot, Rucus?
I don't know. Ask Anna Cutler.
Apparently, Rucus's liquor limits had been reached and then he torpedoed. All I could get from him after that was more garbled nonsense. I asked around, and no one seemed to know this mysterious Anna woman. I left Rucus in the capable hands of the scurvy dog and headed out of Cheapside to meet Styx back at the office.
Welcome back.
Ah, home sweet sweatbox.
Any luck with the gardener?
Yeah, he was quite the talker. A little miffed, I think, that Dohrwald left him out of the will. How about the law offices?
I interrogated the lawyers, provided they weren't lying, and I always assume the lawyers are lying, mind you.
I know your history with lawyers. What did he say?
Well, apparently Dohrwald left a letter for his children apart from the will. Not sure what was in it. He got the letter the night the parrot disappeared. Oh, and Dohrwald's probably not an actual lord. He just bought his title and forged his family lineage.
You don't say. Rucus was a tad cryptic, but he kept mumbling about a witch and getting his share. When I asked him where the parrot was, he told me to go talk to Anna Cutler.
The Anna Cutler?
You know her? Who is she?
Yeah, I know her. And she's a what, not a who.
Now you're being cryptic.
The Anna Cutler was the name of the ship used by the pirate Black Billy Morgan.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that will be one of our clients.
Mr. Stone?
Monsieur, have you come to check on our progress? I believe I may know where your parrot has flown.
As do I. It seems that the missing parrot has been found and returned to its rightful owner. I have come to inform you that your services are no longer needed.
Is that so? May I ask who found our missing bird and where?
Of course. Aurora Dohrwald found it under some furniture in her father's study. It must have fallen out in transit and incorrectly been labeled as received. I must say, I am greatly relieved. It was all just a simple mistake.
Well, good for her. We should still like to be paid for our time. We spent all morning looking for that bird. I had to talk to lawyers.
Absolutely. Here is a check for the full amount promised.
The full amount? But we didn't find the bird.
Yoink! Thank you.
Yes, well, and this is embarrassing. The young Dohrwald masters confided to me that they also set out to hire you. They both covered the costs that you and I agreed upon, but wish for you to know that their individual contracts with you were null and void.
How very generous of them, but...
Robert, please don't.
But we can't accept it. Hand the check back, Styx.
Fine.
What is the meaning of this? The parrot has been found. Here's your money. What is the problem?
Tell me, Monsieur, when the Dohrwald children informed you of their discovery, did they also request that you bring them something from the auction warehouse?
As a matter of fact, they did.
Would it happen to have been an old-timey music box that played sea shanties?
Oui. How did you know?
Styx, go call on Chief Buggins and tell him to bring several of his men to the Dohrwald mansion. And while you're out, go pick up that gardener Rucus at the Scurvy Dog Tavern. Hopefully he'll sober up enough to be of some use to us.
You got it. What are you going to do?
I need to visit the vault.
The police? The gardener? I do not understand.
Monsieur, I recommend that you hold off on the Dohrwald auction for a few more days. It's quite possible that warehouse is full of stolen goods.
Stolen goods?
The vault is a library, museum, bank, and archival repository all rolled into one. It's this immense building that periodically absorbs one of the neighboring buildings as its store of collected goods continues to expand. It's sort of like an enormous amoeba, slowly consuming the entire block. Eventually, it will probably take over Freedom City entirely. Everything is here, but that also means a lot of nonsense you have to sort through. You could spend years here searching through those endless racks of boxes, books, and papers and never find what you want. There's an order to it all, but it requires a hefty amount of math and magic to make any sense. The best thing to do is if you want something here, seek out one of the archivists. I normally work with Rings. I think the man actually lives here. I've never seen him leave.
Here's everything we have on Black Billy Morgan. Old newspaper clippings, wanted posters, stolen cargo manifests, ship sightings, and lists of all known associates. Everything but his blood type and a lock of hair.
Thanks, Rings. Say, you found this pretty quickly.
Truth be told, I was already putting it together upon request by Billy Dohrwald. He came in yesterday.
Not surprised. He probably intended to burn it all.
That's why we only give out copies but don't tell anybody that. In fact, Kala Zara Scritch.
Tell people what?
Don't worry about that. Just mumbling to myself.
Do you have a picture of Billy?
There are no known pictures. Best we have are a couple of sketches drawn from eyewitness accounts.
Those will have to do. Does he have any identifying marks?
All of his crew had a tattoo across their back of a large, ugly mer chipmunk.
A mer chipmunk.
They're apparently quite nasty creatures, so why the interest in antique piracy? You working on a case?
If I'm right, Rings, you'll read about it in the papers. You'll have a few new things to add to this file.
I can't wait.
One last thing. Is there anything in here about a witch?
You can sift through the associates list, but I don't remember seeing a witch.
Don't worry about it. Thanks again, Rings.
Stone, what is the meaning of this? We've been waiting here for almost half an hour.
Mr. Stone, I do believe our business with you is complete. Why are you here with the entire police force?
Indeed, our lost parrot was not stolen, merely misplaced by the incompetence of the auction house. There's no need for the police.
Thank goodness. I've been stalling for a bit. We had Ruckus, but he got a bit unruly, and so we had to gag him. So did you find it?
The bullets are right here. Now let's go find that smoking gun.
Bullets? Gun? What are you talking about? Is it murder?
Quite a few. Mr. and Miss Dohrwald, would you kindly take us to your father's study and bring out the dead parrot you were so desperate to find?
Absolutely not. You can't just barge into our house without a warrant.
Robert, unless you can prove a crime has been committed, I can't do anything.
But I can prove a crime has been committed. Multiple crimes. And unless you want to be tried as an accessory to your father's criminality, Miss Dohrwald, you will take us to your father's office now.
And don't even think about hiding the parrot.
Very well.
Here, this is our father's study, and that is the stuffed parrot. See, no harm and no foul.
And there it is.
Ugh, ugly bugger. So how does it fit in this jigsaw?
You'll see. Oh, good, they left the music box in here too. That saves us a lot of time.
All right, Stone. Explain.
Gladly, Chief. Our story begins over 40 years ago on the high seas. A pirate by the name of Black Billy Morgan began a decade-long campaign of theft, murder, and debauchery. And then about 30 years ago, he vanished without a trace.
I really don't see what this has to do with...
He's getting to the good part.
Black Billy Morgan didn't vanish. He retired. He took his fortune of ill-gotten gains, bought himself a minor title, and changed his name to Augustus Dohrwald.
Our father a pirate? Preposterous.
A careful study of the family titles will reveal that they are all fake.
Black Billy either killed off or sold off his old shipmates except for Mr. Ruckus, whom he kept on as a gardener. Now I have a sketch here of Billy, and I've compared it to some of the paintings you see here in the halls. It's a dead ringer, but of course the real proof is on the back. Billy Morgan's crew all have tattoos of mare chipmunks on their backs. Would you please show us your bat, Mr. Ruckus?
Let's just take a look, shall we?
Well, I'll be. It's a chipmunk with the tail of a fish eating a person whole? How big are these things?
I'm sure if we look at the body of Lord Dohrwald, currently in the family crypt, we'll find a matching tattoo, or at least the scars where it was if he had it removed.
This is circumstantial evidence at best.
Of course. Dohrwald went and married himself a high society dame. However, that didn't sit well with some of his older flames. In particular, there was a witch who was most upset by this, and she put a nice little curse on Black Billy. Mr. Ruckus, would you mind assisting us again? Oh, right. Ungag him, please. Mr. Ruckus, what can you tell us about the witch's curse?
You sorry sack of bilge water! I'll tell you about the bloody now. What was that?
A common side effect of curses. You can't talk about them when they directly affect you. Makes it harder to spell them.
Correct. Now, this next part is just guesswork, but I think I've got it figured out. Every night, Lord Dohrwald had to listen to sea shanties play on his music box. Over the last few nights, he wasn't able to listen to this music on account of being dead. But the curse, however, was still very much working. The answer to this mystery is in that bird.
This stuffed parrot?
Exactly. But neither of the Dohrwald children knew the importance of the bird, so they sent it with the rest of their father's goods to the auction house.
You are mistaken. The parrot never went to the auction house.
We'll see.
However, the music box went with the parrot. The unit manager admitted that when it arrived, he tripped over the box just like Stone did and started the music.
I'm still not sure I understand.
We have the bird and the music box. Let's play it and see what happens.
What is this? Who are ye people? What are you doing in me study? Get out or I'll make you walk the plank.
that bird just talk?
Did not see that coming.
Didn't you hear me? Get out! Ruckus, you snake! Did you write to the police? I didn't tell, Captain. I didn't. I've been faithful. I'm no stool pigeon. I'll see you burn in hell. Oi! I'll be avenged.
Hey, I found the off switch. Play it once and he comes to life. Play it twice to shut him up.
The curse has finally come to pass. Every night Lord Dohrwald listened to the silly she-shanty, or as the jilted witch intended, his spirit would become trapped in that stuffed parrot.
I don't know about my sister, but this is the first that I've heard about this.
Not so fast. Last night you received a letter from your father. It probably admitted to his dark past and told you about the importance of the stuffed parrot.
He tricked us. He told us it would give us directions to a large buried treasure if we played the music for it. But once we...
You wretched son of a barnacle tanner! I'll cut you into pie!
Cut it out, Sticks.
This is hilarious. It's like one of those talking teddy bears, except it molts and stops sailor swear words.
Him, as I was saying, Lord Dohrwald was really Black Billy. This entire estate is really made up of stolen pirate treasure.
That's preposterous.
You have no proof.
Actually, we do. A careful record was made of all the objects stolen by Black Billy. If we compare that record to the inventory list at the auction house, I think we will find a lot of matches considering how eccentric and unique they are. Also, the lawyers at Northhawk have the files Lord Dohrwald used to acquire his title, and an examination will reveal them all to be fake.
And if all of that fails, we could wring the truth out of that soul-trapped parrot.
I think we can take it from here.
You know, I'm still peeved we didn't get paid.
Well, Aurora and Bilius Dohrwald suddenly found almost all of their vast fortune was confiscated as stolen property. The rest got sold off to cover various fees and debts as well as the trial for their father. And considering all of that is technically because of our interference, I can understand why they told us to piss off. It's the price of truth, my friend.
The truth may be good, but it doesn't fix our heat problem.
Enter.
Hello, gentlemen.
Monsieur, what brings you to our humble domicile?
I wanted to come and thank you. Because of your extra diligence, you not only prove that we at Skymoon Auction House did not have anything stolen, but also that we did not commit a shipping error. Our reputation is still pristine, and the story of the Dohrwald estate brought us a lot of press. Business is booming! We are truly in your debt.
Well, we're glad someone has benefited from this mess.
Indeed. My superiors have requested that I give you a small token of our appreciation.
You are going to give us the pirate parrot?
Don't be silly. The Soul Trap Black Billy is currently serving 400 life sentences. From what I understand, they've made sure he'll be awake for the entire time.
Well, maybe he'll learn his lesson.
Yeah, never dump a witch. So what is it then?
I overheard you mentioning that you needed an ice elemental unit, and we happen to have several smaller units just gathering dust in our storage.
Pinch me, Robert. I think I'm dreaming.
And thus ends the case of the dead parrot.
Hey everybody, Six here. My mother says I have a face for radio. If you agree and want to hear more zany tales, hit the subscribe button for more future tomfoolery. Thanks!